Hey, Dad.
What?
We talked for a bit, because, you know, Joe did show up while you were gone. I mean to talk about it, but didn't have a chance until now.
He showed. I gotta sit in the shade.
Yeah, that's fine.
He showed up,
While you're on vacation.
Really?
Again.
I thought he was mad. So what do you want?
Well, it didn't seem mad when he was over. He, showed up right before I was about to start with chilling and grilling. Funny how that works.
Yeah.
He said, oh, well, you know, we normally film during the week, so figured to pop by and, you know, do that. And...
excuse me.
Then he, stayed for dinner, basically. And then, after I finished, he was just playing video games out in the den.
Tuh.
Very much seemed like he wanted to just stay and hang out. He didn't say anything about it.
Well, I mean, you know, I knew that he was supposed to come over to do, you know, make some kind of video with you. Maybe he wanted to do a gaming video.
It didn't seem like he just turned on the NES thing and
He didn't
started
text you
playing
first or anything? He just came over, just showed up.
Just showed up, just like last time.
That's weird. That's weird. How did he act, though? Did he act like he was mad, or?
No, I mean, maybe he was more mad at you than me, so he wouldn't have acted mad anyway.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, well, it's no big deal. I mean, so what? He showed up and you did a video.
No, I know, but like, then I tried to
Why didn't you just want him to help you do a video on?
Because
what are you doing?
I'm going to trim up some of the flowers and take some of the dead stuff off.
Oh.
Okay.
What are you? What are you getting?
The clippers.
Well, you got to use the right key. That.
It's the one that says master, right?
Yeah, but it's like a brass colored one.
Oh, there's more than one that says master?
I don't know. I only know of the one that said it.
No, there's more than one that says master.
Well, I mean, he was, you know, he came over to work. So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, but then he didn't leave. I figured, okay, we made the stuff. We tried it out, finished what we needed to do. I figured he'd leave. Instead, he plopped himself on the couch and started playing video games. When I tried to get him out, he just wouldn't. He wouldn't take the hint.
But he left, didn't he?
Eventually.
Well, then what's the big deal? So he left.
Because he was very opposite.
Joe came over when we were gone. But I mean, I knew he was going to come over, but except for, well, I knew before he got mad that he was going to come over, but I didn't, you know, I didn't.
First of all, he didn't text before he came over again.
Okay.
So at least he had the decency to knock this time, so he didn't just walk in and surprise me. I still don't know what's up about the spare key. He says he did. I'm pretty sure he said he didn't have one. I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah. Well.
Then after we were done filming, he just sat down and started playing video games, and every time I tried to say like, hey Joe, maybe you should probably, you know, get home to your family, you know, leave me alone, he just wouldn't go until eventually I had to just be like, dude, seriously, you need to leave. And he finally left.
Did you say mean, or were you nice about it?
I mean, I tried to say it without saying it at first, and every time he was just like, nah, we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna play video games. This is gonna be a fun time. It's just gonna be, you know, bro time. And it's
well,
like,
he probably just wanted to be, you know, just do more than one video. He probably wanted to do several of them.
He didn't say that if that was the case.
So wait, so you didn't tell him before we left that he wasn't supposed to come over?
Joe left he was all mad at me and left. He squealed tires and left. Messed up the stones in the driveway. Kind of irritated me, but no, I never got to have a talk with him because the day I was going to.
Sorry.
Are you done longer?
Oh, now I'm done.
The day I was going to tell him, I was going to tell him the one day, and then I was like, wait a second, I'll talk to him tomorrow about it because I wanted him to come over to help us out in the woods and stuff. Because I figured, you know, he wasn't going to be too happy about it. So I was going to tell him the next day because I knew I was seeing him the next day to help me. And what happened was Jeff's whole tractor thing. Yeah, your cough is very annoying. It's like triggered by my voice or something.
It might be.
Just get it out, will you?
All right.
Anyway,
I'm sorry about that.
Because we were blaming him for the tractor being moved, he got really mad and he just left in a huff. I never got a chance to talk to him about that.
Don't you think that was an important thing to talk to him about, though?
Obviously,
I mean, we were going away. You shouldn't have left that for Tom to do.
Obviously not, because I mean, Tom said that it was just like he didn't ask to stay here, right?
He made very, very strong implications, and when I started being more direct in telling him, hey, I want to just enjoy my time and not have you here, he still wouldn't leave.
Were you mean to him? Like, I mean...
No.
Like, I mean, did you yell at him, get out?
I didn't yell.
Well, it sounded like he had to be pretty forceful to get him to go.
Well, it sounds to me the opposite. To me, it sounds to me like he's saying...
when I tried saying that you didn't want him there, he was just like, you just said that. Everything's fine about that. You know, we'll talk about it later. It'll be fine. It wasn't until I said that you didn't want him there that he actually left.
But that's why it was important that you needed to say something to him, so he knew that it wasn't just me being, nasty.
He obviously didn't stay here, so it's not a big deal whether I said it or not.
I had to invoke
for Tom to do.
Well,
I had to invoke everybody didn't want him there to get him to leave instead of just, hey, maybe you should go home.
Well, personally, I mean, like, did you ask him, like, what's going on that he wanted to stay here? I mean, maybe something serious was going on.
I feel like if there was something serious, he would have said it without me needing to ask.
I don't know, Joe. Would he tell you? I mean, he talks to me about that stuff. I don't know that he would tell you.
Joe comes up with 1,000 excuses to do anything. Will you call me the king of excuses?
Well, yeah, Joe does have a lot of excuses, but I mean, he is going through a hard time right now, so I don't see what the big deal is that you could let him stay here.
Well, obviously must not be that bad if you didn't try to play that card. He just wanted to hang out.
As far as Tom's concerned, though, you didn't want him here, and I didn't want him here.
Like,
so now
you're pointing the sharp instrument at me like
and
that.
And now you're saying it's not a big deal if he stayed. I mean, that's kind of like, what was Tom supposed to do?
What are you, like, in a mob? You're going to cut my fingers off if I don't straighten up?
Where's that pinky?
Yeah, right. Yeah, see my pinky? No, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, he obviously handled the whole thing.
The big deal is not necessarily the big deal about Joe. The big deal is what you left Tom to deal with.
First of all...
Granted, I do understand the way Joe left was very abrupt. We didn't have the chance to really talk to him. I can understand what Dad's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, he was mad.
All right.
However, I mean, you could have called him. Or done it over text.
First of all, I'm not sitting down anymore. First of all, I just want to bring this up, is that we were ready to leave on our vacation, so I really didn't have time to call him and stuff like that.
You could have texted him. You can text him from the airport. I mean, that works.
That's not the kind of call. No.
You could have.
I was going to just wait until we got back and just have a talk with him.
But then that slightly defeated the purpose, considering the point was about me and him coming over here while you were gone.
I don't understand what the big deal is, because he didn't...
The point's that he showed up to begin with and didn't leave, and I was like, hey, maybe you should go home.
Hold it, did he leave or didn't he leave?
He did, eventually. Again, I had to invoke not just you, but that Mom didn't want him there.
When you have to invoke Mom...
Yeah.
When I have to invoke other people, and it's not just like, hey, since I'm sort of in charge of this house and I don't want you here, please leave.
And then he's not paying attention to the person whose house it essentially is for the days that he's home.
But he's still, I don't understand why you're making a stink out of it. He left. He left.
I know, I just feel bad for Tom.
Tom dealt with it. This is how Tom learns how to deal with certain situations.
I understand Tom dealt with it. Tom did a good job. Obviously it worked.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, way to go, Tom.
I'm not waving my shears at you.
Yeah, let her cut off your pinky.
I don't know if I want that.
But the fact is, Tom shouldn't have had to deal with it. He did a great job. He dealt with it just as he should have. He got the outcome that he wanted.
Right.
I didn't have to like yell and scream at him to get out. He eventually understood.
Is he shouldn't have had to.
See, he didn't. Did you listen to him, or were you just too busy talking?
I was yapping.
Yeah. He just said he didn't have to yell at him. He understood and left.
He had to get firm with him, he said. He had to talk.
Like I said, I had to get firm and invoke authority.
Dad doesn't want you here. Mom doesn't want you here. You have to go.
I had to invoke authority that was not my own in what was essentially a place where I should have had full authority to begin with. And he just did not respect that.
That's correct.
Probably because he stayed here before and Tom's let him stay here before. That's why.
Which is why you needed to talk to him ahead of time.
I understand that, but it didn't happen.
Right.
It didn't happen, and there was reasons why it didn't happen. If we didn't have a big argument and he left like that, I would have tried to talk with him. But I didn't get a chance to because he left in a huff. He had his panties all twisted up and everything when he left because...
Well, he obviously untwisted them before he came back.
I don't know, was he speaking in a high voice?
No.
Oh. They were untwisted then.
I guess so.
Yeah, but I mean, I just think that, it wasn't the right time for me to have that talk with him. I would have had it, and then to tell you the truth, I forgot about it all after that. I didn't even think, and as bad as, and you know, Tom, as mad as he left, I didn't think I'd be hearing from him until I came back.
You know, shortly after he left too, he came back to ask me for some of the papa to go.
Oh, he wanted some food?
He wanted to take...
See,
Yeah, some of the ravioli that we had made for chilling and grilling.
See, that makes me think that maybe he got kicked out and he was hungry.
Well, you know,
I mean...
Possible that's just his own fault, and he should have to deal with the consequence. Like,
well, at least somebody shouldn't go hungry if they get kicked out.
I don't think that he was actually going to go hungry.
Did he ask you for it, or did you try to sneak it?
He asked.
Well, I guess that's
Yeah,
better
see?
than nothing.
See, and that's what I'm saying. It's not a big deal. He didn't do anything wrong in my eyes. He was going to cut.
Other than not respecting the fact that Tom was asking him to leave. That's the part that bothers me, is he wasn't respecting Tom. Tom was the head of the house. It was essentially Tom's house while we're gone. And Joe was trying to steamroll right
obviously,
over him.
Tom wasn't convincing until you said what you had to say. Right?
Needed to be that convincing, but
That's kind of my point. He shouldn't have had to.
Well, I don't understand. What's the big deal, though? I mean, he was...
The big deal is it should have been handled beforehand, I guess.
All right, well, you know what? It's all, what do you call, water under the bridge now, right? He knows.
Sure.
I'll have a talk with him when I see him this week. I'll have a talk with him and just say, yeah, I heard you stop by, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into it because he left. I'm not going to get into anything about it, right?
He did eventually leave, Tom said, so.
And I'll just tell him, I'll say, yeah, well, Diana's not too comfortable with you staying here. I'm fine, but she's got problems.
Oh, you can put it all on me. That's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, I was going to.
I know
anyway.
you are.
Yeah. That's what guys do with their
Oh, do
wives.
they? Yeah.
Well, my wife doesn't let me.
Yeah,
my
all
wife
right.
doesn't. My
Okay.
wife said, we make you all out to be.
Great. Thanks.
Yeah. It's just.
all right. I think I'm gonna go in before whatever's about to happen here happens.
And you need to get them things away from me, all right?
Uh-huh. So they might be useful.